Welcome back, my armadilliest armadillos. In today's video, I want to start off with a POV. And that makes it sound like I've never introed my video with a POV before. I would say about 95% of the earth is covered by ahmadelyo POVs, and the other 5% is covered by you hitting the subscribe button. But with this POV, I'm going to give you a script. You'll see the script on the screen, and you must recite what is written on the screen in response to what I say from my mouthful region. Now you might be wondering, Ahmed, why do I not have free will? And the reason for that is this YouTube channel does not run on democracy. It is a dictatorship. I'm gonna tell you what to do and you will obey. All right, let's get on with the POV before I get canceled. POV, I'm your mother and you are my fermented egg. Good morning, my little sugar bear. It's time for you to go to school. Look, I understand, but in my household, you gotta be up at 6:30. I have your treats in your bowl, so get on all fours, get on your paws, and crawl over to your bowl. Good, good. You are so good. I'm so happy I purchased you that one day. That is the end of the POV. If you enjoyed, leave a comment down below and make sure it's just something that is base boosting my ego. Any other comments will be deleted. Now you might be asking, Ahmed, what did that intro have to do with the actual video that you're going to unvideo? And to that I say, you peasant, wait till the end of the video so everything will make sense at the end of the video, but you have to watch till the end of the video. I'm totally not just using you for audience retention. In today's MP4 file, we are going to be looking at boy moms. You know that whole stigma around siblings or dating? This is essentially the same concept, except it's just an incubator and what it incubated. And it's just a very questionable relationship. So we're going to be looking at these relationships between mothers and the male files that they've exported out of themselves. It is very good to have a good relationship with your mother. I would go even as far as saying it's good to be a mama's boy. You should love your mother. You should take care of your mother. You should spoil your mother. Because at the end of the day, you wouldn't be interacting with oxygen if it wasn't for her. With that being said, with every relationship, there are barriers. Look at me being inspirational. Let me educationalize you. There are barriers that you should not crawl over. And if you do, typically you end up on a subreddit, which will be covered by a YouTuber named ahmadelyo. By the way, on a side note, that dude is extremely attractive. People have said that they've actually decomposed from his attractiveness. So just be aware. If you see him like on your screen or whatever, grab your favorite illegal substance, snort it up, and let's get right into the video. Come on, vamonos! Dora, please sponsor. Her son is an alpha at the children's playground. So it looks like we're going to be dealing with the product of what happens when you let your child witness too many Instagram alpha male reels. But if this is your first time peeling your pupils upon me, just to let you know, at 12 o'clock every single night, I howl at the moon. Okay, on all fours, woo! But when I was a child, believe it or not, I was still an alpha male. And you might be asking, how can you be an alpha male as a child? Well, I was just ahead of everybody in terms of testosterone ability. For example, my armpits. I refused to shave them. People used to say Rapunzel was chilling in my armpits, because that's just how long my armpit hair was. Okay, now it just sounds like I have hygiene problems. But I don't really believe in that anymore because alpha male mentality changes over the years. But let's see if this kid can relate to what I was. Very true. They live in fantasy land and demand normal people to feed into their fantasy. My son is already exhibiting. He's very alpha. It's a stark contrast when we go to the playground and see liberal raised boys that are scared of everything and stay close to their mom, among other things. You disgusting little prudent children. You disgusting mothers. Your sons actually cling to you. Ugh. My son actually attempted to drive me over. So macho. What does it mean to be alpha on the playground? Are you just howling so hard that kids are going down the slide and they just start levitating? Is that what alpha means on the playground? Or is he just grabbing kids by the pulp of their shirts, twisting the front of it, and lifting them up with one fingering saying, hey, you little punk, you know I'm the IRS for lunch money. So pay up. It's time for me to have my lunch. Daddy's hungry. Because I'm actually just curious as to what an alpha child man demands on the playground. What are his playground rules? So yeah, if you could improvise on that would be great. But I also love how you brought politics into a playground. Like I love how you say liberal children, they're scared of everything and they're like magnets to their mothers. Disgusting behavior. How dare you love your mother? How dare you be attached to your mother? And kids nowadays, they're scared of everything. My son attacked an innocent rabbit and ate it whole. Your kids are watching Judy Hopps. My child is eating one. alive. You're telling me that kid's not gonna be a dictator, I mean a leader in the future? She's just telling all the moms on the playground, look at your little beta kids. If you wanna upgrade, pay me a subscription, I'll teach you guys how to make your children alphas. I have a course on it and I'll sell you guys on it. So this is the first alpha male boy mom that we've ever seen. As someone that's in the industry, they are on the rise actually. I have some inside connections that have told me that. Should I forcibly shave my son while he's sleeping? Is there not a better way to phrase this? I know this is not what they mean, but this is what I imagine. Just imagine this is a shaver. Hey, son. I mean, what a disturbing scene. You just made it sound like you're disintegrating your breathing embryo. Don't do that. Don't shave your son. My 16-year-old son has a full beard and won't shave. What should I do? How do I get him to shave it off? Should I just do it myself while he's asleep? So what you should actually do is leave your son's beard alone because it's your son's beard. It's not your beard, it's your son's beard. Look at the blessings that people deal with. This dude has a full beard, clearly. Otherwise, I don't know why she's so disturbed by it. This dude has a beard at 16 years old. I have been interacting with oxygen for 21 years, and this is the patch that I have. It's just one patch of hair that is believing it can grow. Your son is the Lamine Yamal of beards, and you want to shave it off. You want to take his Hagrid away. Can we normalize not shaving our children? But yeah, let's keep our shavers to ourselves and let our children keep their shavers to themselves. Like if you told your son like, hey, your armpit hair is becoming armpitful, that would make sense because that's like a disgusting thing, right? It's pretty unhygienic, you know, you should want to take care of your pits. But if your son has a luscious beard, maybe he likes that and there is nothing wrong with that. But just because you don't like it, this is not Build-A-Bear. You can't just go around shaving your children. I really need to stop describing it like that because I just keep thinking of you shaving your child whole. Sorry, baby, you've got to go. I've had enough of you. Just gonna shave you away. Now you just have son shavings. So this next one is actually a video, but she has her child in the video and I want this child to look past this video because he has nothing to do with this, right? He has a future, but the mother, not so much. To my future daughter-in-law. By the way, her child is like 2 years old. Bro just spawned. Like he is so fresh that there are genuine negotiations in the hospital that he was released from if he should be returning to the portal just to get just some extra limbs and stuff. To my future daughter-in-law. Number one, you may have married him, but I raised him. I come first. This is completely valid. I say if your son has got married or your child has got married, make sure you always have stocks in their relationships. Make sure you're seeing everything. I wonder what rule number 2 is. You're not his first kiss. I am. Act accordingly. I beg your pardon? Actually, I am begging for a pardon. Unpardon your pardon. Please. Please explain what you mean by first kiss. What does that mean as well? Just because you gave him a peck. We're gonna hope that's what you did. You just gave him a peck on the cheek. It's your child. But should his wife just be fearful every time she wants to kiss him? Her lips are quivering because she remembered the mother-in-law's magic words on TikTok. Babe, I fear I cannot kiss you because your mother has stocks on our kisses. Remember, she was your first. So I just think there's a lot of better ways to word this, and this wording doesn't sound normal. Also, the fact that you're making this public, who is really your future daughter-in-law? It is a child at the moment. So the girl that might marry your son is probably not watching this TikTok, but let's just say in a perfect world that she does witness it. The only thing she's gonna extrapolate from this video is goo 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 gaga. She's not done, because you know what they say, first is the worst, second is the best, third is the one that will make you poison 97-year-old grandmas that are living in retirement homes. Wait, I think I just confessed. Somebody clip that out. Number 3, his children are genetically more mine than yours. If not allowed enough visitation, I will press legal charges. So that's actually not how the judicial system works, and that's also not how the genetic system works. But this seems like a very healthy relationship to me. I think this is what all mother-in-laws should strive to be like. Just extremely unlawful. But I can only imagine how much of an annoying orange she is going to be. Because imagine, this is her when her son has just spawned. Can you imagine how she's gonna be 20 years in, 25 years in? It is going to be scary. I truly do feel for this child. This is going to be a migraine and a half. Today is the first day of Rocco's junior year and the first day of Taylor's senior year. Oh, who's Taylor, you ask? Just the girl that my son has been dating for 2.5 years. That's 30 months, y'all. That's 314,001.44 minutes, which is quite a lot for this mom. People used to tell me I'd be absolutely terrible to the girls Rocco brought home. You named your child Rocco. That was the first thing. I knew you were going to be Rocco in the head because you named your child after a glorified rock. Look, if you're a Rocco watching this, you probably don't have any emotions because you're just a sedimentary rock. But now you actually got me curious. I'm going to search up the meaning of Rocco. There is no way the name Rocco is of Italian origin with several possible meanings, including rock. I mean, don't I just rock? Don't I just rock? Your son is named after a rock, and not the Rock, not the buff guy. It's not like a nickname. His name is Rocco. That's like a dog name. Why did you give your son a dog name? Rocco, breakfast is ready. Do you have his treats in a bowl? He needs his Scooby snacks. That literally sounds like Scooby-Doo's brother-in-law. That's actually what you named your son after. People used to tell me that I'd be absolutely terrible to the girls Rocco brought home. And I was like, what? I am a barrel of laughs. I own so much skincare and makeup. I'm a girl's girl. They'll love me. But I knew what they meant. This is Rocco, my boy, my love, the most handsome, kind-hearted man-child that God has ever created. I could stare at him for hours. Sometimes I smell his shirts before I throw them in the washing machine. And then I was like, oh, okay, I get what they're saying. I don't think you got what they're saying. You need to be in a mental asylum. But Taylor can tell you I'm a trooper. I have added her onto our Life 360 so I can make sure they are never alone. I have made her a chore list since she's at my house so much. And I sit directly between them on the couch. I'm pretty sure she adores me. So please take a moment to wish them a good school year. The one on the left with the broad shoulders, the perfect face, the good hair, and the adorable smile. The one with the clever comebacks, the heart of gold, the hilarious sense of humor, and the outgoing personality and charisma of his mother is Rocco. The other one is Taylor. This is so disturbing considering your son is in his junior year and his significant other, which seems pretty insignificant to you, is in her senior year. Now, obviously, as an Islamified individual, we don't date, all right? We don't do that. Why are you using Clash of Clans methodology on your son? You've created this base around him, clearly. I just know you're not overprotective. You got 10-step verification on your child. But the more you do this, the more he's gonna fling away. Ever played Angry Birds? The more you fling the bird, the more it flies. That's how it goes. If you do a little bit, it's not gonna fly that far. But when you bring it back all the way, that bird is flying at full speed. And guess what? It's not coming back. It's going to Narnia. But apart from the fact that your son is probably going to despise you once he starts to marinate even more, this is also just an insane thing to confess to the universe. It's okay to feel like you love your son and you care about your son. I can understand I love you, you're so handsome, you are the best son that could ever be son. My mom has never told me that. But describing your son play by play on Facebook for everyone to witness. On top of that, name dropping your son's partner, who is still a child, and dropping an absolute diss track on her is not beneficial whatsoever. Boy mums, how do you deal with the fact your son will grow and leave you and you will always be the second best to his new family and wife? I know it's how it should be, but it's hard. My boy is 17 and in a good relationship. I can already see he's super involved with his girlfriend's family. I read it's very common and that we as boy mum just have to accept it and enjoy the time he does spend with us when he's older. It is hard to know how the future will be in that he will be more involved with his new family because they say daughters always more close with their mum, and so those in-laws are always the priority, not the son's mum. Bob, while you're editing this, make sure I have no teeth. I don't know if you have the capability of doing that, but do that. Elizabeth, I told you, alright, just eat your fish and chips and do not worry, okay? Your son is always gonna crawl back to you. Remember, you have his toothbrush? And it's very hard for us to get toothbrushes in the UK. So don't worry. He'll always come back because he wants to keep his free teeth. All right, I am increasing the chances of somebody pulling out a sword on me if I ever go to the UK. But don't worry, I love you fish and chipses. I do love you guys. This is all a joke. I know you guys have teeth. Well, some of you have teeth. And that typically depends on your political beliefs somehow. Don't ask me how. But every racist rally that I've seen come out of the UK, there is a total of like 4 teeth amongst 6,000 people. And it's extremely disturbing disturbing. Where are your teeths going? But I'm not gonna lie, this one made me a little bit sad because I don't think she's actually boy mom. It's her child. She feels like he's distancing because he's moving on in life, I guess. And she feels like she might not be that important in his life. But I don't think this is as negative as the other ones. I keep dating mama's boys. I'm still dating, so I don't have a mother-in-law yet. But every single guy I've had a relationship with turns out to be a mama's boy. Worse, they all seem to have the same mother. My first boyfriend, we were seniors in high school. Example, my boyfriend loved to play guitar and wrote a song for me. Family gets in the living room to hear him play. He sings, I blush, cue applause. After the song, mom loudly exclaims, "You never wrote a song for me!" Everyone was enjoying in the living room, and then the mother was just there. "You cursed boy. Oh, the things I've done for you, all of the scrubby stomach times I did for you. Where I did wax on, wax off on your stomach, even though you asked me not to, and I just wanted to invade your privacy. You never wrote a song about me. There were so many songs you could have wrote about me. Like that one time I just tried to shave you." Okay, I need to stop with the shaving joke. Seriously, stop. After college boyfriend, met through mutual friends. I know you didn't mean it like this, but it just sounds like after every stage of your life, you have to get a new boyfriend. After college boyfriend, met through mutual friends. Example, too many weird things about him and his mom to ever list. His mom was a hoarder and a cat lady who also fed skunks. He was 30 and I lived with her. I was not allowed in the house. Do you really want to be allowed in the house after you have learned that she feeds skunks? I mean, I don't want to be the one to judge, but there is no way that she smells good. And I know that makes it sound like I just want to sniff her ex-mother-in-law, and that's because I do. Come here. An older guy I met through work. Example, our first hug was on his porch, interrupted when a woman whined his name from inside the house. Joe! Surprise, surprise. Turns out he lives with his mom. She was so passive-aggressively rude to me, he frequently had to remind her to be nice. My most recent love interest, 32 meniscus. At first it seemed like there's no way this guy could be under his mom's thumb. He's super macho, ex-military, and has the personality of a wild horse. Example, he doesn't want a girlfriend, so at first we are just friends. Turns out he lives with his mom and her kids in a tiny apartment. There aren't enough bedrooms, so he sleeps on the floor, and he is basically the kid's surrogate father. What is extra weird to me is that all these women look similar, pic related, while I look something like this. And the guys run the gamut, tall, short, white, Hispanic, heavy, thin, athletic, whatever. That's not whatever, you just listed 89% of the world's population. That's not whatever. You can't just whatever that one. The mothers are all divorced and have no contact with dad. They're all committed to being single. They all drive. I'm not too good with cars, but what I guess are called compact SUVs. What is going on here and how can I stop it? I feel like I have to start fielding a guy before I go out with him by asking straight away about his mother. I'm getting older and want a family, so I'm also worried about what kind of signals I'm giving off that keeps attracting this into my life. Am I destined to become an overweight cat lady at 60? Help! Looks like you're just another victim of the mama boy ahmadelyo agency. Let me show you a little bit of how it works. Let me guess you were just a lady that was looking for love in the city, and then one day a male approaches you and says, "I have never seen somebody so beautiful before." He's tall, short, thin, athletic, fat, and extremely unfit. He does all of that while managing to have a six-pack on his back. Not on his stomach, on his back. He's done a reverse thing. Don't ask me how. You think this is the love of your life, and that's on you, because with that build, I don't know how you came to that conclusion. But little do you know, he's actually one of the mama's boys from my agencies. And how do I know? Because all day his mother is with him, giving him the proper nutrients so he can be deployed to ruin your life. No, but on a more serious note, it honestly looks like you're stuck in a mama's boy pyramid scheme. I don't know how you are meeting these people in terms of like the specifications. Are you just bumping into them? Like you said, you met through mutual friends, or maybe just environments are attracting that. I don't want to say that you just attract the mama's boys, because I don't think that's actually the case. Maybe it's just where you're at. There's just a plethora of mama's boys. They're just highly dense in that area that you're located in. But I think there's also just a good chance that there are a lot of dudes that have seemed to not snap out of being a child in terms of how they are with their mother. And I don't think there's anything wrong with vetting. You can ask them, how is your relationship with your mother? And if you sense the unhealthiness, yeah, just call it quits. Don't wait for things to get to an extraterrestrial stage, and then you feel stuck in this realm where it's just you and the mama's boy and the mama, of course. Mommy/son sleepovers. Okay, let me just wipe my pupils and get them prepared, because I feel like I'm going to witness horror. First off, I, 33, realize this is a partner problem. I'd love some advice to navigate or walk. We've known each other since 19, casually saw each other here and there. I got married, left in what ended up being an abusive marriage, reconnected, and ended up moving to his city in another state. 60% for him, 30% to be closer to my parents, 10% for a job, to see if we could be a thing about a year ago. He's a really great guy, makes me feel safe, kind, caring, helpful. The biggest red flag/issue is his relationship with his mother. Major highlights. She speaks about him like a spouse. Her husband, who she was in the process of divorcing, died 7 years ago. She complained she wishes he didn't work so much so they could have more time together. His sister is NC. His sister is North Carolina. What does NC stand for? No cap. His sister is no cap. She only speaks facts. Has tried to reconnect, but mom refuses because she feels slighted. Mom talks about wanting grandkids, but daughter has 3 children. Claims my partner is her favorite child. She has 4. She hijacked his whole birthday, including weekend. She booked a hotel for the 2 of them 45 minutes away from where we live, and I wasn't invited. Day of birthday, partner decided to sleep over at her house and not mine, because sometimes she plans a surprise and she'd be upset if he made other plans. We had a whole discussion about how I feel like the other woman. I moved in temporarily about 2 weeks ago while I looked to buy a house that I hope he'd move into the next year or so. He spent 1/3 of the night so far sleeping over at his mom's. Okay, I want to make jokes, but honestly, you seem to be in a very dire situation. So this is my recommendation. Firstly, you want to have a conversation, and even if it comes across nasty or rude, at the end of the day, this is for your betterment. Now, it's in your right to feel fed up, but have a conversation with him firstly about what your goals are and aspirations are as people that are plural. I think that's pretty important. And talk about how you feel like his mother is playing a big part in your relationship, and that you clearly don't mind her presence, but she's over-presencing her presence. I think this is an issue with the mother, but it's an issue with the mother that you cannot repair. You can't go to the mother and tell her, listen, I don't like the fact that you love your son on the same level as like a partner. Because then she's just going to say, okay, fine, get me a contract with TLC and let them make a show about me. I don't know what you want me to do. She clearly doesn't have the cognitive sense to understand that, yeah, I'm overstepping a certain boundary here. So the only way you can deal with this issue is by discussing it with your partner and letting him know how this makes you feel. If he refuses to change, or if he refuses to acknowledge that this is an issue, you have to shave him out of your life. I feel really proud of myself. I just responded to that one very seriously. Good job, Ahmed. Yes, I'm petting myself because my mother refuses to pet me. I have an exam tomorrow that is probably one of the most important in my university career. It's actually the one that will let me know, or most probably can determine, if I will actually get a degree or I am going to be delayed to a certain degree. So I had to make a very important decision. Should I focus on my degree and make sure that my children have food to eat in the future? Or should I make a YouTube video about people that don't know I exist? And I chose the second option because I just felt like that was the mature thing to do as a fully marinated malefibian. So if you're not subscribed to the channel or not leaving a like, just remember, I left my education for you.
I never thought that I would be that toxic boy mom. I love my 4 kids equally, but that last little boy just hits different.
So you don't love them equally. Just say you don't love them equally. I love all of my fermented eggs, but that last fermented egg just makes me want to nuke the rest of them. Okay, that's a little harsh. The last one just makes me want to shave the rest of my children. I really need to shave the shaving thing. Leave suggestions down below how I can move on from the shaving bit. It keeps shaving at me.
And now I feel like I'm having this existential crisis. Or I wouldn't be that mom, that toxic boy mom. He hits his sisters, he punches them. I'm like, maybe he's having a hard day. Your
son is doing Sergio Ramos-worthy tackles on your other children, and you're just like, maybe he's having a hard day. You're not correcting him. You're not stopping him from dismantling his siblings. You're telling him, no, if you have a hard day in the future, make sure to beat everybody around you. What kind of a message are you sending to your child? Furthermore, why would you let us know that that's how you deal with your child unless you don't see anything wrong with that? I am praying for your other children. They are victims, and not all parents should be parents. This is not a mama's boy, this is a villain's boy.
So when I think about my daughters getting married, I get excited, right? At their dresses, planning their weddings. When I think about my son's wedding, I want to cry. Boy mums, we've got to step up. We got to realize that we are the problem.
You are not a problem at that point. You are a virus. So let's unstate your first statement. You don't love your children equally. Otherwise, you wouldn't let one of them commit terrorist attacks on the rest of them. That's just unacceptable. Yeah, my son just blew off my daughter's kneecaps, but he was having a hard day. The thing is, I immediately thought of him getting married, and I'm like, who's going to just eliminate my daughter's kneecaps when he gets married? I never thought I would say this, but in one TikTok, I feel like we can encompass how good of a mother you are. And based on what I've just seen, it's a 0 out of 10. But you are teaching your son and telling your son that it's okay if you just feel like it, you can turn any area in front of you into an octagon. Take your innocent siblings and put them in a rear neck choke. Just make sure you do it Brazilian style so they have to tap out, or just knock them out. Honestly, it's okay. They're little bowling pins to me, but you are my bowling ball. How do we get your mothership revoked? I don't feel safe with you being a mother at the moment. Why does my mother-in-law treat her son like a child? My husband is a 27-year-old man. We've been married 4 years. Every time we see his mother, she smothers him and kisses to the point he needs to pull away from her. She uses a baby voice every time as well, and will snuggle up to him on the couch and ignore everyone else. Just show him photos of their family cat. He indulges her often because he says he feels bad for her, that she misses her eldest son. She guilts my husband for not coming home often enough to visit said cat. Whenever we are out in public with her, my father-in-law and brother-in-laws and sister-in-laws, and someone asks her about who is who, she will discuss her darling boys and will proceed to tell them about how hard it's been for her since her boys have moved out. She will reiterate to everyone how often she's cried about it. Even her youngest moved out 2 years ago. Am I wrong for thinking this behavior is insane? She still scolds my husband, and I, by definition, sometimes, as if we were children living under her roof, even in our own home. Why do mothers infantilize their adult children to this extent? My husband is fully aware of her odd behavior, but doesn't know how to handle it best without hurting her feelings beyond repair. Very interesting situation, and I am the man for the job. Do not worry. 0 relationship experience, 0 mother-in-law experience, but by law, I'm the guy you should be coming to. So I'm happy you found me, because I'm going to make this 10 times worse. So the first thing I do have to ask is what happened with one of your brother-in-laws, because did he just move out or did he deactivate? I feel like that's important information, because if he did, God forbid, deactivate, it clearly has sent your mother-in-law into extreme denial. Now, obviously she has a husband, so I don't know what his role is in all of this, but this needs to be a collaborative effort where rules are put in place, where boundaries are set, but you can still do all of this while being nice. It is pretty clear that your husband hasn't created any sort of a boundary. He's just kind of let your mom behave in a certain manner for a long period of time. And so now, not only does she not see anything wrong with this, but it's actually normalized her behavior in terms of how she's going to continue to behave. If your in-laws also see this as an issue, they can tell her nicely, and it won't be a harsh, it shouldn't be a harsh thing. Anyways, I feel like I've been getting really serious, so hopefully this last one is super unserious. I hope like somebody's trying to shave someone or something. Hi everyone, my husband 27 Mandarin and I 30 Fahrenheit have been married for a year, and we're having issues after his family got into the picture. He's a mama's boy, and I didn't realize this until we moved back closer to his family. His mother treats both of us like we're children who can't do anything ourselves. She still buys him clothes, groceries, toilet tries, does his laundry when we visit, pays his medical / car / gas bills, etc. When we go on vacation, just the two of us, she would insert herself by sending us recommendations of things to do and what to eat, even cities / countries she has never been to. Our last trip, she called my husband during the trip and said that she wants to go to the exact same location / hotel, and she's planning something for all of us. I feel like we can't have anything 2 people without her inserting herself into. I'm a very independent person. My mother-in-law also has opinions about everything we do without asking, and do things for us that we didn't ask for or don't need. It makes me feel very uncomfortable and controlled. She's the boss of my husband's family, but she's not gonna the boss of mine too. Sometimes she makes me feel guilty, like I'm taking away her son from her, and I can sense the jealousy. I've tried to explain to my husband that we're grown adults and married. I want us to build our own family and instead of us being an extension of his. The marriage doesn't feel like just us two, and I want his mom to accept that her son is an adult with a wife and take a step back. She's so involved and takes care of him, even with the little things, so that makes me feel like there's no place for me to be a wife. He said he will change and set boundaries with his family, but I'm not sure if I have the patience for it. Yeah, I don't think you have the patience for it, and I also don't think you have the spelling for it. I've been holding in my frustrations and resentment for so long. This situation has pushed me to depression. I'm getting help. And I'm so drained. I'm stuck in this marriage. What can I do to make my husband understand my perspective and see that some of his mother's action is too much and she's trying to control our lives? To him, she's just trying to help and it makes her happy to be involved in our lives. I'm so frustrated every time I hear that. She's happy, but what about me? Thank you all in advance. I feel so heard, seen, and understood in this sub. Oh, don't thank me just yet. This is a mother who clearly loves her son a lot. And when I say a lot, now we're reaching very unhealthy territories. Your husband is a grown man and she's still covering bills. That is a big issue. Things like giving recommendations or planning trips, I think that's pretty normal. I don't see that as overstepping a boundary. Now, if she took a plane and inserted herself in the hotel room, that's a different discussion. But if she's just giving recommendations or telling you about things, she's just talking. But I can understand how all of this collectively is her really making herself the third P in the pod. See, if I was put in this situation, considering my nostril system, I would just go up to the mother-in-law and sniff her up. She would just fly up into my nose, and that's one of the benefits of having this Pinocchio on deck, because anything I don't like, you're just getting sniffed up there. It's over for you. This is a conversation for your husband. He needs to really step up. If this is causing you mental health issues and it's making you ultimately very unhappy in your marriage, he needs to make this his #1 priority. With that being said, my armadillions, I hope you did enjoy the video. If you did, you probably have serious issues. Make sure to follow me on Instagram to see me in stop motion, PNG format. I make that joke every time and it's super fun. Also, make sure to follow me on TikTok, because who wouldn't want to see me in clock format? Get it? Because it's like TikTok and it's a clock. No, you're more attractive. No, you're more attractive. Wait, me? No, you're more attractive. Come here, you're the best chair ever.